Let's be real, anyone who's worked in hospitality knows that the phrase, "the customer is always right," doesn't always line up with reality. People picture smiling servers and happy guests, but behind the scenes, it can get pretty rough.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just the occasional rude comment. Employees regularly face everything from eye rolls to all-out verbal aggression. Researchers actually call this dysfunctional customer behavior, and it's surprisingly common, way beyond just a few bad apples.
Exactly what's wild is how these interactions pile up. I read that burnout rates in hospitality are more than double the national average, with millions quitting every year. It's not just about being tired, it's a deeper emotional exhaustion.
It builds up because workers can't always show how they're feeling. Imagine having to smile through a customer's tantrum, then moving right on to the next table. That constant pressure to hide your real reactions, it takes a serious mental toll.
That actually reminds me, I've heard burnout isn't just about feeling tired. There are different parts to it, right? Like emotional exhaustion is just one side of the whole picture.
Yeah, for sure. There's also this thing called depersonalization. That's when workers start to distance themselves emotionally, maybe by acting less friendly or even a little cynical with guests. It's almost like a defense mechanism. If you can't feel it, it won't hurt as much.
And then there's that sense of not accomplishing anything, even if you're working like crazy. When customers keep crossing the line, it's easy for employees to feel undervalued, like nothing they do is good enough.
I've seen that firsthand. When people feel ineffective or unappreciated, it just chips away at their motivation. Over time, the job can start to feel pointless, and that's when you see folks emotionally checking out or even quitting entirely.
Funny you say that. Because I ran across this massive global study, the researchers wanted to know if the impact of bad customer behavior is actually different in various cultures. Like, does your country's mindset affect how much these negative encounters wear you down?
Absolutely. Culture really shapes how employees react. For example, in high uncertainty avoidance countries, people like clear rules and predictability. So when a customer acts out and breaks those norms, it's even more stressful. The study found burnout is stronger in those places.
And what about cultures focused on group harmony or assertiveness? Do those play a role too?
They totally do. High in-group collectivism think tight-knit teams means customer mistreatment can feel like an insult to the whole group, not just the individual. Assertiveness, meanwhile, can actually amplify burnout, since employees might confront rudeness more directly, but that can make situations even more emotionally charged.
What really surprises me is that some cultural values barely made a difference, even though you'd expect them to. Like, did humane orientation or power distance help much?
Not really, which is kind of unexpected. Cultures that emphasize kindness or strict hierarchies didn't offer much protection against burnout. In some cases, expecting more civility just made mistreatment sting more. Plus, being in a system with big power gaps didn't seem to buffer stress the way people sometimes assume.
I guess that shows it's more complicated than just workplace rules or company slogans. It goes deeper, right into the values people grow up with.
Absolutely. And interestingly, performance-oriented cultures where employees are encouraged to see problems as challenges sometimes helped people reframe bad interactions and avoid burning out so fast. So, mindsets about achievement can serve as a kind of shield.
So, if you're a hospitality manager listening right now, you're probably wondering, what should you actually do with all this?
Well, the big takeaway is that one-size-fits-all solutions won't cut it. If your team comes from a culture that values assertiveness or group loyalty, focus on peer support and healthy communication. Where people hate uncertainty, clarify the rules and routines so there's less anxiety about surprises.
That makes sense. And I'd add, even basic things like regular mental health check-ins or group debriefings can make a big difference, especially if you tailor them to your team's cultural background.
Exactly. At the end of the day, understanding who your employees are and what matters to them culturally can be just as important as handling the day-to-day business. That's how you start building a workplace where people can actually thrive, even when customers aren't at their best.